see, anybody watching? Anybody viewing? Doing a little bit of live stuff here. Playing around with the live streams, playing around with... It's just nasty, nasty weather right now this time. This week especially. Harsh cold weather. Really, really difficult to want to be outside doing anything. Don't even know if it makes any difference. I might be doing more harm than good by going out some days. Some days I might just be doing better just to sit inside. Well, as you guys can see, there's wood chips on the ground, on the floor. There's carvings. You see little pieces of wood here and there. Blocks of wood everywhere. Working a lot on some video stuff. Making video, editing video, doing some new carvings that I've been waiting to do. I don't get a lot of time to do this stuff. Usually it's in between jobs, in between busy days that I'm working. How are you guys all doing out there? I'm trying not to yell or shout or be too obnoxious on the camera. When I carve, I definitely want this finger taped up. I don't know why. This is so annoying that my Xbox doesn't want to go online. So now I gotta sit and fiddle fart with that and try to get that stupid thing to work. I don't know. If it isn't one thing not working, it's another thing not working. Add yes. Sorry, what are you guys up to? Just join in. Join in, we'll see where this goes. Mm-hmm. And look, there's 3 people. What's up, guys? What's going on? Say hi, say something. Maybe a problem with the console. Let's try restarting it. I don't know. I'm trying here. I'm really trying. Really trying to just tolerate technology. You see what we got here? I got my little computer board, and see, its screens keep blanking out, and back and forth. So I don't know. You see my ugly mug? You can see me if I decide to put that on camera. So we got some wood carvings here. It's all good. See, now it's telling me. All right. So let's go back. Let's go to use Scroob. All right, got some wood carvings here. Doing a few videos, just showing some wood carving stuff. Oh, drop my knife set. See, what I like about my setup is it's small. I don't have a lot of space here to work in. I don't have a lot of fancy stuff here. I have the fancy shop with all the fancy power saws and tools and grinders and routers and whatever. But here in my apartment, I don't. I don't have that stuff. I have lived in my shop before. Like I have stayed. Like I've had my shop before, like in my apartment, where I'm cutting and grinding or what I, and it never seems to work out where you're living in all that sawdust, even if it's in the, like half of the room. Uh, I remember when I was living in a big what do you call it? Big co-op, big student co-op in a big college, and I was the house manager at that house. Um, I was given all the I was given like the coolest room downstairs in the basement of the house, um, and I was the maintenance guy. I took care of the house. Uh, you know, did I did some renovations actually on the house when it needed, if it needed walls torn out or um, I'm trying to get this so it's look better at what I'm doing. You can see over my shoulder, whatever. Um, all this is hard for me to do. This is all difficult for me to do. The freaking constantly fiddle farting with the camera, making sure that I'm on the camera. Um, but when I lived in that house, uh, I was given a lot of freedom and a lot of space, like to play with. I had this room outside of the room that I lived in, where my bed and my couch and my TVs and all that was, and my clothes. I had a door between the two rooms, um, where I could. Oh, sorry. I'm trying to not have music and stuff pop up. Uh, how do you? I wish I could mute this with the controller. Stupid ads. Because I don't want it blocking my video because of copyright stuff. Um, but anyway, that house, I had a room outside of my room where I had my shop and I could build my shop and do what I wanted. Because it was a student-owned co-op, um, which means that we were in charge of what went on at that house. You see how this stupid camera thing is working here? It's not really doing what I want it to do. It's not really going where I want it to go. I don't know, it's kind of a pain that I have to sit here and uncomfortably hold a piece. But I'm using these little razor blades, and I got the handmade knife, and I got another X-Acto, and I have other tools that I could use if I need to. But all right, we're gonna turn this up a little bit here. Don't want it real loud. I just want some background. I'm watching dirt bike trials videos. So I've always had, well, I guess what I'm trying to say before I knock the phone over on top of everything. Let's get this darn thing here. What I'm trying to say is that I've had shops in many situations, many different environments before, big shops and little shops, where I've had to make do in order to make things really comfortable and really cool for myself in those situations. I've had to kind of be a survivalist in many ways, and it's really fun. I kind of have fun with it. the need for utility or the need for certain things. I'm just gonna knock. I just made that line. I'm just gonna knock out. And see, when I carve, I'm not in a huge hurry most of the time. Mostly just going along, knocking out the parts that I don't want on the piece of wood. And you see, I'm moving it around, moving the piece around before each cut or each series of cuts to get it pulled out safely and easily. The weather here, guys, is pretty harsh right now. And I'm just giving him a mustache and beard, probably an old wizard. I don't know. People are gonna say what they want to say about him, thinking, oh, it's this or that. You guys you'll have your opinions. You'll say what you want to say, right or wrong. You're gonna say what you want to say. I guess you're entitled to it. I don't like the word entitlement. But yeah, this is my setup. This is my general carving area. You know, I just have, and it's where I do my computer work, do my editing, and then I've got YouTube videos on constant play because hopefully I'm playing the experiment. Is this going to help my YouTube channel or not? And here's all my editing. Let's see what we got on this video here. Let's play it. Let's see what it says. This video of me making the knife. Right? Let's blow it up. Let's supersize it here so you can see. It's this knife. It's this same knife. I'm putting away at it with the grinder. You see the shape difference in the blade. You see how the blade that I have now, I'm just taking off the top of the blade to flatten it out, and I explain that in this video. It's kind of a cool little setup I got here, guys, now. So there's that. I don't need quiet, I just need it, or I don't need it muted, I just need it quieter than it was. Alright, so that video, that guy's going. I don't need to show you the whole place, I guess. But this actually is. That's how big my place is. Oh, look at it outside. It's freaking nasty out. It's cold. It's not really bad, but when you're dealing with it every single day, see, this is my entire place. It's that big. Doink. That's how big my whole place is, my house. So you think I'm rich and famous? You think I have this huge mansion, millions of dollars, because I make carving knives and I whittle and cut wood? I don't. And that's proof of it. This is proof of it. I'm not playing. I mean, you see the building I live in is kind of ratty and old. It's, you know, it is what it is. It's cheap rent. I like having cheap rent, and I need to be able to afford having a wood shop and having a decent place to live. And like I said, I've lived in my shop before. Um, I've had big apartments before. I mean, I've had big places. I've had apartments and warehouses before that I loved having, and that was the ideal life for me. It was the it. I miss it. I would go back to that if I could have it again. Um, it was actually really cool. Um, and I think about it all the time, and I'm always looking for that where I can have the shop and my apartment all in one place in a warehouse. So I wake up and I go out the door, or I go into the other half of the building and I'm at work. Um, Drive time, travel time, car wear and tear, all this stuff, you know, is part of the equation, especially when your shop is far enough away from your house. But I like to be warm, and I as I get older, I don't like waking up and stepping out of my little sleeping area. I always make my sleeping area warm. I can always get warm quickly. But right now in the shop situation that I'm in, uh, my little sleeping area is basically big enough. It's a closet size space, basically big enough to put a chair or to lay down in, you know, and that's it. It's a box. Like I could put a computer in there with shelves. Um, I could do all kinds of things in there, but it's basically a climb. Like I climb into the space and I lay down, and I can sit up against the back wall. It's like literally 6 inches on either side of me is both walls. So it's not a lot of space to do stuff in. It's not a lot of, it's cool to hide out in there and just hang out if I decide to stay at camp. But I mean, we're getting like -8, -5s. Um, I don't want to have to step out, as soon as I get up and step out into the freezing cold like that all the time. I did stay there a few nights ago, and it was getting to that point where it's almost unbearable to, because you have to work. If you have stuff to do, like if you're living, for me, if I'm living like that and I don't have to go work, if I don't have to leave there, if I don't have to worry about basic stuff like going to work and pay bills, then okay, I can live like that. But when you have to go to work and live civilly, if you have the choice, I would rather have a small space that's warm or that's easy to heat up, that has a shower and sink and plumbing. Um, I'd rather have those things, because at the shop I'm in, I don't have basic plumbing. Which, if we did have basic plumbing there and kind of a warmer space to hang out in, my shop's not insulated. So when it gets to be 8, 10 degrees or -5, like it was last night, no matter how much heat you put in there, it's going to be cold. Even if you dress warm, even if you get yourself in a warm space in the corner with blankets and have a heater compartmentalized in that space, basically like it's like car camping. Um, Car camping's great if that's all that you're doing. If you're not trying to get anything done or go out and do a lot, um, when it's really cold, car camping can be fine. It can be great. Um, so here we're just making a guy's face, just carving the face, right? And you see, I don't wear gloves. I don't get into fancy too much of anything. I like to keep it simple. Whittling is a fun activity. Um, it's also very good for developing my skills, for remembering how wood cuts. It's training my muscle memory, my hands and my eyes. Now, because of this wood here is getting a little bit hard to cut. Um, One really cool thing about pine wood and making your own blocks, uh, set, set little grumpy old man head there. Um, you can go in and you can smell it. If you smell the wood, I wish I had smell-o-vision for you guys because right here, and I can even poke at it, if you're camping and you are a survivalist, you see how it's coming out, just little flakes of it, little bits of it, real sappy. It's wood. It actually has a wood grain, but it's also real sappy, resiny. Um, that's what, when you're camping, we call it fat wood. This is your fire starter wood, and that's what it looks like. So this is your limb wood, and it's going to be harder. It's going to be more dense. It's going to give you a lot of detail, um, but it's also going to make your knife a lot harder to draw and pull and dig in. And you want to be careful if you dig in, because you want to observe the way that all this grain goes, because that's where you'll get stuck and you'll pull and pull or push and something will break loose. Next thing you know, you're stabbing yourself in the hand. I've got injuries from that from when I was a kid learning. I stabbed right through my hand one time with a razor kit because I learned the hard way. So I'm here to tell you guys what happens when you do that. So this has some resininess to it as well. It's a knot. Um, I like using the wood with a lot of knots because in between the knots is usually really nice, really clean wood. Like this piece carves really easy. This was a in between the knots. Like there's knots here and knots there. Well, I took the middle part and really, really nice, smooth, buttery wood. It's a little bit flaky because it is pine, but it's air dried. Just my little kitty cat. Um, Got these. I show guys. I show you guys these every time I do a video and carve. Right. You can do this too. I did this with this X-Acto knife. Um, you got this little guy sticking his tongue. It's like a big mouth. Guy with a big mouth and a pot belly. He's sticking his tongue out and he's giving a fist pump. I don't know. He's psyched to be here. So that's all that's about. But I do these chain links, right, with these things here, right? Just dowel rods, just wooden pegs, right? And I show you guys this on almost all my hand carving videos. I show in this video that I'm creating here while I'm carving. Um, I'll show you this stuff. Talk about it. But anybody can set up anywhere. Basically, all that you need to carve is one of these cheapy kits. You don't need big stuff. You can buy dowel rods and you can carve a dowel rod. You want to have a roll of tape, right? Tape your fingertips, tape your thumb up until you really learn how to carve and learn how to cut. But you see, when I'm cutting, I'm pulling right into my thumb, so I want to protect that. But I don't need a big fancy glove. I don't need a whole lot of stuff to protect myself because I've learned how to cut. I've learned how to use and pull the knife. Now, to make it easier for carving, I could make a block of wood that this knife fits in, and I make my fatter handle will give you better leverage, better comfort, um, more ease of carvability. I just don't do that with this knife because it has two blades that pulls out. And I like the challenge. I like the workout of my hands. I have many of these knives that I've made. I have to find them all. I actually have a couple knives from years and years ago that really cut well. They really work well. Um, I'm just watching some of my favorite channels and videos while I'm here with you guys, trying to avoid any music. Uh, I like that background. But you see, you start these off. You see the chain links. This will be one link, right, from there to there, and from there to there. You're trying to get them across from each other. You're trying to make basically a cross, right? If you look at it in profile, it's going to come out where they're opposite. They're perpendicular to each other like a cross. And just to illustrate that point, I can take out this much, right? Take out that much. And here too, get yourself set up. See how I flipped it? Get myself in line before I pull it, before I make that line, before I pull that little piece out. And I'm just watching what I'm doing, mostly by feel, but also with my eyes. And what helps in carving is if you visualize, before I do this cut, if I visualize from there to there where I want the knife, right? I look at the piece of wood. I say I'm just going to drag it, and I only apply the pressure that I need. I'm only applying enough pressure to pull, to sink down enough to get that little piece out. And if I have to do multiple passes with my hand to make it safer and easier to keep the wood from breaking, right? The less you're breaking the wood, the less chance you are. If you're like, if I see how I'm just cutting away little peels, little pieces and peels, right? I'm not pressuring. I'm not pushing harder, causing the wood to break. I'm not causing any stress. It's gonna see here. I'm just digging out the end of the link where I want it. And there in my other video, I explained cutting too. But here I'm going around. I'm just defining the shape of the link for myself on either side, either end, so that I know easily now. All right. So I know easily where I want to be. And see, I'm just making little cuts. And this is proof right here that anybody can do this. Anybody can do it, even if you have bad hands. You could get a bar of soap. I mean, I've taught kids to carve before, little kids. I've taught them to carve watermelon or cantaloupe. You can teach people to carve or do anything if with a knife or cutting material, if you consider the possibilities of the material or what you're cutting. Here, while I'm doing that, I'm going to put you guys... Sorry, I had to plug it in. My phone's almost dead. I'm probably going to have to end this stream pretty soon. Just because. But here it's just interesting to me, and I've explained it before. I've explained it in other videos. Just get a bar of soap. It's the easiest thing you can do, easiest way to learn to carve. And it smells pretty good too. It can smell pretty good too. Just take your bar of soap and then you can carve right away at it. It's not hard to carve. Soap is very easy to carve. If I wanted to make a flower, right? So the easiest way to make a rose is to start in the middle, and you can just cheat it. I'm just going to make a spiral. Okay. And it doesn't have to be a real perfect spiral. Or the number 6, right? If you make a number 6 or number 9, make the number 6 or number 9, and then once you get that part of it, then you're starting to build. If you look at the center of a rose in general, that's a very simple thing. Then you make almost like a teardrop shaped down, right? So what's going to happen here? This is the outside. This is another petal here. That goes there, right? So now I have the center petal for my rose, right? And you can do this in wood, or you can do it in soap. Soap is very easy to learn with, very safe. I'm just dragging the blade as I go. That's the easiest way to learn to carve right now. So this part of the number 6 is going to go over top of that. That's your center petal, right? That's where it all begins. And it doesn't have to be perfect. You don't sit there and go, oh, so just make a number 6, and then off of the bottom of the 6, make, even if you just make a deliberate triangle, like boop, boop, and then you make this guy go a little bit past that one. Okay. Here we're gonna start to define the depth of our carving, right? And you see what I'm doing now? I'm taking off the edges here and there. And I mean, literally, if you're on an airplane and you want to carve, all you need is a long fingernail and a bar of soap. You know what I mean? Like, you don't even need a knife. If you're that bored flying on a plane and you just need something to keep your mind and your hands occupied, if you're one of those type of people, you grow your nail out before you go on a flight. A couple bars of soap, you'll be good, because you could take a bar of soap on your carry-on. They're not going to stop you from that. Or a drawing book. I've had drawing books and pens and pencils, and they have no problem with that stuff. So, just for reference, And as long, don't disturb the people next to you with your light on all the time. Like, bring your, get your phone light or a little light that you can keep contained. Even put a thing over your head. You got your little tent and you're sitting inside of it on an airplane flying overseas, because you can't have the windows open when you're flying overseas. Your blinds, they make you close them because it's so bright, It's dangerous to have them open for your eyes. Anyway, so, and we're going to go up over top of the number 6. We're just going to follow up over top of that. My whole thing is about being resourceful in any situation. And doesn't matter what you're going through in your life. I don't know why it says the battery's running low. I'm charging. Sorry. Yes. I did plug it in. The problem is it doesn't stay plugged in. On battery. I don't know why. The pluggy plug. Sorry, this is... Alright, now it says plugged in. I'm not going to touch it. But it's all about resourcefulness for me. This is survival 101. And survival of what? Survival of the mind, the spirit, and the soul, maybe. All right, just keep doing my art, man. And now I'm getting complicated to where, okay, so that's going to be flat. I'm going to cut flat across that and deeper. This is where the number 6 starts to disappear. And we start defining the shape of a flower. And you don't really need to do a lot here. You see I'm just dragging down next to the first petal that I made. I'm just clearing out and defining that one. I made the center petal first. And I'm clearing out and defining that more and more. So now the number 6 becomes a circle around that little petal. And we can get rid of the line from the number 6 temporarily and just well it out. And I know this seems extreme. If you've carved a rose and you know how to do it, this may seem weird or extreme to you, but I'm kind of explaining it, making it a very open, laid out presentation so everybody can see it. So to be simple about it, I'm just going to make another petal right there. You see where we're going with this now? We're not making a perfect, anatomically perfect rose. We're making the impression of a rose. We're trying not to force too much. You see, I'm making the petals. Right now, we're just trying to pull out the shape of the flower. See, in this little center part, we're going to reflect that here, kind of that way. This guy, though, this is one petal. And that's going to go that way to define the shape of our rose. And then we've got this guy here. You see where we're going with this? We're following that little center part. And you see how easy it is when you do it in a bar of soap. And how safe it is. I don't need to worry about anything. And my hands are clean. You know, like I'm not worried about inconsistencies and the bar of soap. The green, the Irish Spring, is my favorite to carve. It doesn't stink annoyingly. It doesn't have a real strong, annoying smell. It doesn't break very. It's a little bit waxy consistency. It's pretty resilient. So you see just how easy. I mean, you don't need a lot of sharp blade. You could do this with an X-Acto knife, a little $5 kit. And even the way that I hold my knife when I'm doing these kind of things is completely different in a way than when I'm carving, but not. Because when I'm carving, I want to have the same kind of delicate touch no matter what material. If I'm carving stone or wood, I want to have the same delicate touch. So this is very good practice for that. It's super good practice for things like ice carving, because when you're carving ice, you constantly need to have a delicate touch, or even stone carving, you need to have a very delicate touch no matter what tools you're using. You're dealing with a material that was once liquid, now it's a solid, and it's weak under its own weight. Stone comes from a composite of different minerals and whatever jamming together, or melting, literally fire from lava. So with our flour, here's the cool thing. With our little flour, you see what's happening now is I'm starting to get behind that first part off of the number 6 that I did. Now I'm starting to go behind it and make it deeper and pull it out more noticeable. Now I'm starting to define the top part of my rose. And I'm going from petal to petal. And you see I go upside down. It's just easier. It's easier to hold everything. You see it's starting to come together. And this is the trick here for me. Now, and I'm going to do the same exact moves when I carve a piece of wood. I'm going to do the same exact, I'm going to try to hold the knife exactly the same most of the time. Sometimes you have to hold it a little different, but it's the same thing as I'm just dragging. I'm dragging that sharp blade or tip wherever I need to make the cut. And it's literally that, is you don't have to, wood carving, if you're doing this, you're doing something wrong. And if you're doing something wrong, all you got to do is go grab a bar of soap. And you can learn. Anybody can learn this. So I'm going to redefine my original center part, right? Because we're upside down. I'm going to really define that guy now. I'm going to go a little bit deeper there. Pull that. And then I'm going to dig in with this guy. And it doesn't have to be the perfect anatomical picture perfect rose. We're just trying to get the impression of layers is what we're doing right now. So I have that. So now I'm going to bury it behind. So I'm going to make this petal. Now I'm going to trace around the entire thing. I want that petal to stick out. I want this side to stick out more, because now I need to go deeper behind it to get the next one to stick out. for me, that's the whole fun of this, guys. For me, this is beginner carving 101. As an ex-professional, I used to be a professional carver, like full-time. Everything at the professional level, you're basically going back to beginner basics 101. When you're doing professional level, you're constantly going back. You look at professional carving, and the complexity and the detail and all that, if you break it down, everything goes back to beginner level. You're just doing, you're putting it together differently. You're arranging things a lot more. Like here, I'm making a shape. I'm making a definable shape. So now, to define this even further, now it's getting complicated, right? Because we're like, oh, you lost me, and I'm like, well, I'm kind of going a little bit quick here, so that we get her done. You can always rewind. So we're bringing that center out a little bit more, and it doesn't have to be perfectly perfect. We're just defining that center more and more now. So this guy comes across and goes in front of that. So there's nothing behind it right now, unless, like, we don't need to be behind it, so to speak. We just cut, it's 3/4 view. I'm only seeing 3/4 of the actual object, so that's all that I'm defining, right? I'm not worried about what's behind here other than clearing out. And when I do the wood carving, I would actually define that middle more. And I would show you how to do that. But see, if you just follow your edges, I'm only following my edges now and making it deeper. Trying to get the profile and the shadow lining on it. I call it shadow lining. Right? How I just took that knob off of there, and now it's looking a little bit more where it needs to be. So I know we want to change this here, and I know we want to change this a little bit, but we still need the last petal. So for the last petal, I'm just going to cut right across the top of everything. Get rid of all that. Get that right out of our way. It's that simple. So see, now I'm making the finished part of the rose, the finished shape. Full house, I call it. It goes from here all the way around and comes back to there, right? Top to bottom, full house. So if you keep it simple, even tell yourself, all right, so did I go full house? Yes, I want full house. All right. So now, and you see how I didn't worry about anything else at all. I did not worry about anything else until I was full house, right? We're full house. So until you get full house, and I say full house because that's what we call chainsaw chain that has a cutter for every tooth. That's what we call chainsaw chain, that is, it's continuous, nonstop, like you skip, semi-skip, whatever. We're not getting into that. We're just going full house. Full house means complete. It's completely full, right? All the way around, start to end. Now I have all the petals defined. I have the center defined. Now I can notch. I can make this guy look like he's going behind of one and in front of the other, right? And it's just that simple. And if I was wood carving, I'd do the same thing, just a little bit, right? It comes out cleaner in wood, right? It actually comes out a lot cleaner in wood. So because this guy here, now we can define it more. Now we can pretend to go deeper. We're trying to get that to follow. This blade's a little fat. Maybe switch to your razor blade if you're having trouble making that real tight curved top cut. And this is just to get things more defined. And it literally is just a tuck. It's a tuck. So full house tuck, right? Don't start tucking until you've got full house, right? And it's basically, think of it as, we don't want to make the bed. We don't want to make the beds and try tucking anybody in until the house is full. Get them all in, right? Get the barn full. Get all the horses in the stalls first. Then shut the barns. Then you shut the barn doors. Then you do the bedding. Then you put the horses to bed. Same thing with the kids. Full house. Right? Get it warm. Get it cozy. And don't cut your center out. You're just poking enough to define. You're just pulling them out a little bit more. You're tucking them in, getting them ready for bed. All right, see where I tucked? A little bit of tuck action. Right, so what's going on over here? We need to pull this guy out. We need to push this guy back first. Right? Get this guy back there. Just get him out of there. Get him out of the way. We got all this fatness here. And we want to pull all that out. Like so. Right? It's not hard. It's not difficult. You're following the line. You're making it stick out more. Right? Every petal has its own shape. Every petal is like a little, on this level, it's like a bulbous, sort of a bulbous triangle. You see, and I do the same in wood as I would in the soap, and I say that all the time. And this guy here, we know he's got to be pushed back. He's still not standing. He's not getting in line where we want him. He's still too hyper to get into bed. Right? Let's get our jammies on. Everybody get your jammies on and go to bed. It's story time now. Right? We can fold the top of this. Basically, I'm folding the top of this back petal back. Right? Knock a corner. See the depth? Just very slowly. You don't have to do it all at once. When you get to be really good at carving certain things, because you've done them so many times, yeah, you can carve them really fast and efficient. Like my tool for this ideally would be the X-Acto knife or a razor blade. Right now I'm just using the fatter blade because I think it's more interesting to show. I think it's neat. So we're going to pull that, and you just keep pulling it. And just keep pulling it. Clean it out. Clean it out. Just clean them out. Nice and gentle. Right? And if this is in your way, this is just background. Right? You can always get rid of background. It's going to help define. It's going to help define the flower better. as you get rid of more background. Unless the background is part of the design, you know, like, okay, say I want to make the roses have like little leaves. Say I want to make a leaf right here. So I'm going to leave this part of the background for now, because that's where my stem and my leaf's going to be. Right? So you're going to have leaves. You're going to have leaves that you want to have look 3D. This is how you carve 3D. Like you look at profile wise, right? The leaf is sticking out with the rose. So we're just going to define it for now. We're going to give it a little bit of smoother chamfered off edge, a little bit more to it, just so it doesn't break off. If you leave a sharp edge anywhere, it's going to break off. So we have that knocked in, and usually roughing in things like a leaf, I don't go even this defined with it. I'll just make a block there and leave it sticking out so that I know to remember, even by touch and feel and follow through, that I don't take that off, because that's going to be something later. And then you continue around. You can continue around and keep removing very gently. It's a very gentle process. Let the knife cut. Let the blade cut. Let the blade do its job. Doesn't require a whole lot of pressure or force, whether you're doing wood or soap. Force and pressure, even with a piece of wood, is supposed to be very, very short term and only for that moment in that area that you're trying to clear at the time. It's not meant to be how everything goes all the time. You know, we're not drag racing here. We're running a long distance, or we're running this is more like, it's like off-road trails or road course versus drag race, or even oval. Oval is a sprint race. Drag race is a sprint race. We're taking our time. Now I want to get rid of some of this body and define this edge some more, because I have my shape here, right? And I have my shape here. Now it's starting to look 3D, and we're starting to see where a lot of our bulk is too much. So without touching this edge, this S shape here, without touching that edge, I'm just going to take a little bit off all the way around. When I say all the way around, all the way across the front of that. I'm going to tuck the bottom down in here. Tuck your belly in, right? Tuck your shirt in before you tighten your belt. Okay. You can even...
Did you hear this girlish? I like it.
You can carve a line here very gently, and you can do this with the wood as well. What you want there, you just want to bring that edge out. You see that I left the edge. I didn't touch it. I stayed a little bit away from it, and I just carved below it. I cleared out. And this is where wood is going to be easier than the soap, because it's going to show up. Soap is just like ice. Soap is just like carving ice. Really. Like A lot of it breaks off the same, it flakes off the same. Um, it's just not cold. And you, but if I were to break a piece off here, I could wet it and re-adhere it the same way that I would a piece of ice. And that's the beauty of learning this way, is you are actually learning. When you go and you carve ice after carving a bar of soap, you're going to be amazed. You're going to be like, wow, that dude, what I did in the bar of soap is exactly what I did on this huge block of 400 pounds of ice or whatever, and it's the same thing. Like, I'm just going to run. I'm not going to press real hard. I'm not going to fight with it. There's no fighting or struggle in ice carving. There's no, like, it's hard work. You're holding the tool up. Your shoulders are getting sore. Your arms get tired. It's cold. It's different than this because here I'm just relaxed. Here I'm just taking my time and, wedging out. I'm basically pulling little wedges out every single time. That's all I'm doing here, is pulling little wedges out to make it look deeper and deeper and more defined. And I broke that pedal, which isn't the worst thing because it needs to be back as far as possible anyway. But I got a little bit of pressure behind it with the edge, with the side of the blade pushed against it and broke it out. Not a bad thing. We'll just go a little deeper here. Means that we need to deepen our background a little bit. Remove some of it, clear some more away. So yeah, I hope this helps you guys. This is the type of video that I've been wanting to do. This is my problem. I've been wanting to do this for months. I've been wanting to show you guys this for months. And I don't take the time to do it. And I don't put my head together on it. And we all have our downfalls with anything that we do art-wise. My problem is cerebral, right? Like, I get too cerebral about art. I think about it all the time, but I enjoy thinking about it while I'm doing other things. Like, I'll be out running deliveries and driving deliveries, and I'll think and I'll think and I'll think, and I'll wake up every day and I'll think I want to do a video on that. This is a very simple thing, a very simple subject, right? Just a flower, right? If you don't have an idea for a gift for your mom or for your girlfriend or whoever for the holiday, what are we doing now? We're doing Valentine's, right? Is that this week or next week? I don't know. I don't follow any of that stuff. But if you have to do something right away for a gift, if you don't have an idea, there you go. Here's your thing. Impress your girl. Make one of these while you're sitting down with them. They're going to be like, what are you doing? Oh, I don't know. And or women for your guy, same thing. It doesn't matter. Kids for mom or kids for whoever. You sit down with them, you get a bar of soap and a knife, and you just start carving that thing out. They're going to be like, what are you doing? Oh, I don't know. Oh, I don't know. Right? You sit there watching the game. Is it football? The Super Bowl or whatever, is that going on too this week? But you can get a box lid and all this can fall in the box lid or paper bag, or you just get comfy in your chair because you know that you don't sit there. you don't sit there and hold hands and stare in each other's eyes, but you know what I mean? Or, like I said, for your mom or your sister, whoever you want to show appreciation to, or your grandma or grandpa, right? If you want to, this is how you impress them right here. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing. And you're just talking and you're sitting there and they're watching you, right? This could be the day that you realize, man, I could be an artist, right? This is how it starts, where it all begins. And it began with that loved one sitting next to you and you're talking and they're just going, they're getting more interested in what you're doing. Oh, I just broke it. But it's not the worst thing, because all I got to do, it's actually the shape I want. All I got to do is bring that sucker down a little more. Not a bad thing. Not a bad thing at all. Was not a mistake. Actually was meant to happen, because I was pushing in one area and I caused it to break in another and I needed it gone anyway. Right? That's that's how I approach everything. I needed it gone anyway. Now, this I would like to curl this leaf. I'd like to curl that petal back even more at some point in the game. I don't need to do it right now. But for me to do that, I'd need to get rid of all this. So I'd need to pre-plan that. I don't know. I don't know why these noises keeps getting. You know, this is ridiculous to keep having to listen to that. Jingle, jingle, bang, bang. Come on, get us out of here. Sorry, I got to talk over it to keep BoobTube from hitting the copyright on their own noise. That's their ads, that's their noise, but they will hit you with a cop. I had one in the background one time and wasn't making noise over it, and the advertiser actually claimed copyright against my video for that. So there's that, right? There's the basics defined. Now you guys know something. Now you got something to do. And we'll just bring the leaves out and the rows. Right? We'll keep pushing them. Keep pushing. A little bit, a little bit, a little bit, a little bit. And seriously, guys, all you need is an X-Acto knife, cat. Right? And so I'm going to make another one of the leaves over here. Right? And I might come back to this later and continue carving on it. I've done lots of soap carving over the years. I've done lots of carvings out of soap just to learn a particular type of carving that I was trying to figure out, like a complicated puzzle carving. And I have boxes full of these soap carving, and I've toiled over this one puzzle piece thing that's in my head. And you get exhausted. You get like, all right, so that kind of works, and it's, you look up things based on it and you look how other people are learning it, and they're still not doing the one that you want to do, but you're seeing the basics of it, and eventually you just kind of get away from it, but you want to go back to it because, man, that was a cool time. And see, my problem is that I forget about stuff like this. I get too busy. I get too distracted in my own life, and I forget about the cool parts of my life when I was teaching myself things, when I was sitting down and working on carvings. And see, if you want to get real fancy, now you can carve a heart up here, and you can get, or two hearts. You could do two hearts up here, right? If I were to do two heart shapes here, or whatever, a heart shape, you know, and then I carve all that away, and then I carve deeper, and then I get the flower defined, and I have a heart behind it. You know what I mean? Like, you can go as far as you want to go with it, art-wise and depth-wise, and it's all in a little piece of soap. It doesn't take a lot of effort. It doesn't take a lot to look at. And it might teach you something. It might actually, no matter how good you are at it, it might actually show you something different in your own technique and your own understanding. Now, here's where the great thing about carving soap, here's where it starts getting more and more delicate, even pushing the blade against another piece that I don't want to get rid of. I have to be careful of that. That's where this is a great learning tool for things like ice and stone, because wood, you're going to have some strength and some resilience, and you're going to be able to push the blade sideways against things, or pressure off the side of the blade against things, and they won't necessarily break away as easily. But things that come from liquid form and become solids, any kind of composed form that's a solid based off a liquid, or a composite, like compacted stone, concrete, whatever, it's gonna have weakness to it, that you're not gonna have the tensile. You're not going to have the same tensile strength as you would with wood. Wood has high tensile strength, which means it has a high resistance to torsional, to pushing, to pulling. It has more flexibility and give. And so there's our leaves, easily defined. It's weird doing the live feed thing, because sometimes it seems like there's a bunch of people viewing. Other times it seems like there's none. And then if I'm not doing anything important, it seems like I get tons of viewers. If I'm not doing anything really worth looking at. Like the other day, I was riding around in the car and I was just trying out live feeds. And I was getting a ton of people on there, and I was even saying, like, I can't comment right now, because I'm driving and I can't look at the phone. And that's when everybody showed up. That's when everybody showed up and was commenting and said, "Hey, how's it going? Or, what are we doing today?" Or, like, "How's your day going?" Or, "Are you enjoying the cold? Are you able to get through the cold?" Like, they had all kinds of comments, all kinds of things to say. It's almost like I said that I couldn't say anything, so the algorithm pushed it further, like, comment highly on this video. And now nobody's commented. Nobody's hardly even here, as far as it keeps showing 0. And then I get a 1, and then I get 1 or 2 thumbs up show up, and then they go away. So I don't know what YouTube is doing. I don't know what their strategy or their intent is with the way that they're It's not making any sense to me. So there's your rose with your little leaves underneath it. And you can pretty this up more if you want. You can clean it up. You can define the leaves more. You can go crazy with it. If I had a huge audience right now or a huge following on this, I probably would go a lot further with this, a lot more crazy. I'm just going to clean here, pull back some of the background for now. And I kind of like leaving the shape of the bar of soap. I kind of don't know right now for this one if I really want to go too far with this. Because you see it's in a bar of soap. And that be that. That one's done for now. We'll leave it done. Let's clean this. Let's get back to just showing the one thing. And guys, I'm doing these carvings. I'm doing them for the video. That's the only reason I'm doing them. I'm doing them to show you guys how easy it is to learn to carve. I'm doing them to show you how easy it is to get into carving. So there's that one. All done. Yeah, now you're going to see that. You're going to go, what is that, jade? What is it, stone? No, it's soap. It's soap, and we have a pile of clean sawdust on the floor now. It smells pretty. I could just leave it there. You know what I mean? Until it really gets to be annoying. I don't have any problem with my apartment smelling nice. And all done here. And the privacy, the safety and privacy of a nice warm apartment on this cold January day. Right? And that be that. So, now the fun part. All right, I like watching this guy's videos. He does a lot of motorcycle stuff. He's fun to listen to. I don't like when the videos when they throw music in though, and I got to hear the music. That worries me that it's gonna mess my videos up. But what can you do? That's part of it. Part of the game. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Okay, so that was our little carving there. And again, I'm going to tell you guys, it's basically the same thing. If I just go here and I make the general shape of that rose, it's basically a teardrop shape, right? Basically, if I get a pen or pencil out, if I have a pen or pencil and I can show you guys real quick the general what we're dealing with, and this is a real rough piece of wood. The general what we're dealing with here is, right? It's just a teardrop. So basically what we're doing, teardrop, is we're crossing there, right? We're going to have our little center, right? This is our back leaf, and this is that one, right? It doesn't have to be real fancy or complicated. Like I said, it's the same it's the same in wood as it is in soap, right? We did the soap one as practice. My wrist really hurts, so I'm dealing with this. And you see how, yes, I need a little bit more push, so I'm using my thumb against the back of the knife blade to give myself more leverage and more push. I don't know what you guys are seeing. I keep having to stop and stare at the camera and see what the camera's trying to show me. Well, it's a little hard to do all this all at once. And I'm trying to go quick enough here because I showed you one, and I want to be about done with the live stream and get hungry. It's about dinner time. And we can continue this later. That's not real important. It's not imminent that I keep doing this video or this wood carving right now. Kind of have other priorities to take care of, like food and getting ready to go out in the nasty 5 degree, 3 degree, or minus degree, whatever weather. Just giving you guys a little bit something here to chew on and watch. It's kind of weird that I had so many views the other day on my video where I was just in the car riding around and just kind of talking crap about what I do and the businesses that I'm involved in. Just talking a bunch of nonsense about all that stuff, and it seemed like I got a lot of interest in it. And I didn't even know what to say half the time. I was just driving around. It was a nasty weather out, and there was hardly anybody out, and I was having a good time. So that was the entire video. But you see here, and I'm just starting to quickly chip away and get the shape of my rose defined. It's not really hard. It's not really hard to do. It's not really, you don't need a special setup. You don't need a whole lot involved in it. It's just, one step at a time, one move at a time, one little thing at a time, and enjoy what you're doing. Don't take it too seriously. Don't stress about it. I don't stress about any of this. I don't worry about whether I'm doing it or not. I do it as an extra fun thing. The only thing that I worry about is, am I living enough? Well, for me, this is living. If I'm not doing some of this every now and then, I start to go a little bit crazy in my own head, that I want to do it. It drives me nuts if I don't get some shop time in. The other night, cutting these blocks of wood up, I actually got a little bit of shop time for a change, and I haven't had any shop time at all. It's been driving me nuts not having any shop time. So just doing that the other night felt really good, was really good, made me really happy. That for me is this is my little happy spot, my little happy place in the world. I make my little, it's like when I was a kid. When you were a kid, you'd make your little corner, right? We all had our little corners when we were kids, a little play corner, whatever. Your little pile of Legos and your little men, your little army men or whatever this. my happy little corner. So I really hope it helps you guys. I really hope it helps inspire some people. You know, we're the same as adults as we were as kids, and I don't care what anybody says about it. If you don't still want or need or desire these little, any guy in his wood shop, it's the same thing. It doesn't matter. You're not doing, it's like we're not these tough guys. You know, this doesn't make you tougher, but it makes you more resourceful. It makes you smarter. It makes you, we're all looking for comfort, especially now, these times that we're going through, the way the world is getting crazy. We're all looking for, you know, when it all goes to hell, you know, to say it gently, to say it easily, when it all goes to hell, I'm going to still have this no matter where I am. I'm going to still have my happy spot. I'm still going to have my little happy place in the world. I'm still going to have my ability to do things like this and hide out, you know, and find ways to get my head straight. Because it's ugly out there. It's an ugly world, guys. It's a very ugly world out there, and you got to find your spot. You got to find your places that makes you happy and that makes it easy for you. When I go out and do my other things, and it's not always so fun and happy doing that stuff, I have this on my mind, and I say I'm going to get my work done early so that I can go and carve and work on my videos and sit here in my little corner of the world and enjoy that. This is what I look forward to. And it's great too because there's a lot of people out there. You see my kitty cat. There's a lot of people out there that they don't have anything. They don't have any hope. They don't have any. They feel like they don't have anything in life to look forward to, and they're just desperate. They're every day is desperation for them, anxiety, and they just live that way, and they try not to let it get to them too much. But instead of trying to ignore it, like me, I'm not of the type to just sit idly by and ignore stuff. I have to actually actively do something. I have to build. This is representative of building your own sanity, right? This is my little happy spot in life. One way to get happy in life is to shut up the noise of commercials. Sorry that those pop up, but for me, this is where it begins. It's where it's always begun for me. I make my little corner. I walk in and out of this place. I come in, I look at this, and I go, oh, I'm so glad to be home. You know, I'm not just looking at a garbage can over here in the corner. I'm not just looking at useless stuff. I'm actually looking at something here. This is my little work corner. I've wanted this station, this little workstation for years, or for months. Here, I've looked at this and gone, I need to improve that. I need to change that. And there too, even the camera angle of this, there's more to this than the camera's showing, which I want to get that figured out. I want to be able to show like more you know, more the whole thing. But really awesome. Really awesome. 1%. Really awesome being here with you guys, giving you some time. And thanks for those of you that stopped by and hung out. All right, we'll talk later. Battery's down to 1%. Not good.